In this video, I'll show you how to sample a drum loop from your computer into the Fantom-G's sampler, and then take and chop up that drum loop, assign it to the pads on the Fantom-G, and then sequence that new rhythm kit into your song. So to begin, I'm going to sample a drum loop in iTunes, which is this loop right here. Let's go to the input side and double check that we have our input settings set to USB audio, because again we're sampling off of our computer. And we can check our level. See the level coming in. Okay. And now let's flip over to the sampler. And I'm going to go to F1 sampling, set F2 to auto trig or auto trigger. So the second the Fantom-G senses an input, it'll automatically slip into sampling mode. So let's go. Alright, now we have our sample captured. And now what I want to do is I want to chop up the sample so I can create a rhythm kit out of it. So to do that I press F3 modify, I choose chop, and F8 select. And then to actually chop the sample, choose auto chop. I'll keep the default settings to level and the amount or incremental level to 6, and press F8 execute. And now when I strike the pads, I have this. All the way through. And this is actually our chop point, so we can adjust these by going down to point and then turning our dial to adjust where we want that. So in this case, I'm going to keep it at the default where it is. Let's go to our next chop point, which is right here, and notice how I can move that in to tighten it up. And I'll do that with the rest of my samples, so they're right on. Set the clap there. Tighten up this kick, the sound effect, hi-hat, clap right on with our hi-hat, and the click. And then I press F8 execute. Ask me if I want to execute the sample chop, click on F7, and then do I want to create a sample set? And when I click on that, what happens is, if I go over to pad setting, here's my drum kit all broken out across the pads. So what I want to do is I want to save this setup. In other words, how each individual sample is assigned to a specific pad. And to save that, we click on F7 right, and we give it a name. And I'll name it drums. And OK. Now, additioning to saving your pad setting, you also want to go back to the sampler and you want to save all of your samples to the Fantom-G's memory. That way, if you made any individual adjustments to the samples in the sample editor, those won't be lost when you shut down the power of the Fantom-G. So to do that, go to Sample List, go to Utility Memory, Utility Menu, and choose Save All, and press F8 Select, and then F7 OK. And then the Fantom-G will start saving the individual samples to your project. And now we're ready to use this kit in a sequence. So let's slip over to our song recorder, and we'll create a new phrase. So on track 1, so I'll hit record, keep my loop switch to on, record length 2 bars, and input quantized type I'll keep to shuffle. And here we go. down some hi-hat. Rehearse. And press stop to save. And now we have this phrase. Alright, so that phrase was created from the loop that we chopped up, and then from the rhythm kit that we created from the chop. So just to kind of complete the whole idea of the song, let's go to track 2 and let's lay down a keyboard part against this. Studio, and let's go here and let's choose like a clap sound. Okay. Right. Slip back into song. And let's take this. And stop. And we'll keep that phrase. Let's go back to studio, mix that a little bit better. And back to song. Okay.